Hello guys, my name is Ringer Volp, also known as Pathfinder Aloy in the modding community. Today I want to show you guys how to get started using the Unreal 4 Conan DevKit. So first you're going to go to your favorite browser, you're going to go to unrealengine.com, you're going to get Unreal. You're going to need to make yourself an account. I already have my account so I don't really need to do this. But once you do your account, you're going to download the Epic Game Launcher. So let's close this and this is what you're gonna get. So log into your account and then make sure you go to the modding tab, Conan Exiles DevKit, and you're gonna have an install button here. It is 65 gigs, so it's gonna take a while. Let it go. And once it's finished, press launch. It's gonna take also a while to open your first time. So don't worry about it too much. If it takes a long time, it's normal. Just let it go. Once you're actually running the DevKit, I personally prefer to close the launcher. It uses RAM and it's unnecessary, so just close the launcher. And this is what is going to pop up. The first thing you're going to want to do is create your own mod. You're going to go up here beside Dreamworld DevKit. You're going to click the drop down menu. You're going to click create new mod. You're going to want to put, for example, I'll do that, but I won't make new because I already have one for you guys. So what we're gonna do is, let's just call it test. Test, and you can't have any spaces, so what I like to do is underscores, so you do test 1, 2, 3. You're gonna click create, and it's going to shut down the Unreal DevKit, and it's gonna start it back up. Don't worry about it too much, it's gonna take a while, but once it's open, cancel. There you go. So once it's opened, you're gonna be right here. So then just make sure you go into select active mods and make sure that the one that's grayed out is the one you want to use. I have a bunch here, but don't worry about it too much. It's just mods that I've been working on. Alright, so basically this is what you're gonna come up to, but we're going to change a bit how it looks, at least how I personally like to use it. I don't like having the content browser down here, so what I'm going to do is take the content browser, I'm going to put it on the bottom left. I'm also going to enable the source panel, which will give you all this list of folders and directories that you'll be able to navigate to find tools or items or UI items, pictures, PNGs, all the assets. Every single asset is in these folders. So if you want to modify something, you'll be able to navigate a lot smoother than if you didn't have it on. And just like this, it's very annoying. So have this enabled, extremely important. And then we'll proceed. The next thing you want to enable is going to be the world settings. To do this, you're going to go to Window on the top left, and you're going to click World Settings. This is going to open a new tab on the bottom right here. That'll give you all the settings for this level. So the building grid size, the foliage, all this yada yada. There's a lot of settings here, and if you don't know like how to use these, or you're not really familiar with them from using Art Mod DevKit, then don't worry about it. You don't even have to have it open. I just prefer to have it open. Another thing here is the world outliner. So this is everything that is in the world loaded currently. So if you want to say move the sky sphere, you got the sky sphere. And if you want to go back to the player start, and you're back here. Alright, before we start getting into the juicy content, let's make your first character. So to make sure that you're able to get into the world and actually test your mods out, you're going to click play. It's going to take a few seconds, don't worry about it, and then you're going to create your character. Again, it's not important, I mean, you can have bigger titties if you want, that's up to you, I don't care. Finalize your character, when you're happy with your name, confirm. And here you don't want to press escape. The thing is with escape is that it will actually stop the simulation. Except if you want to still skip this, you can do Control M, which acts as escape in the game. So I didn't have to watch a cutscene, and I'm right in the empty world. This is not going to be here. This is just me testing some mods that I've been working on. Again, don't press escape. If you press escape, this is what's going to happen. You can go back into it. It's not going to take a while. It's just going to go right into it. If you're making a mod that's using the menu, you can just do Control M again. Or if you want to change your settings of your world, for example, if you want to have you know, I don't know, crafting speed multiplier down. You can also make, like, I just prefer doing that because it doesn't actually affect or override any settings. It just makes the world have that. And you have your admin panel. Another better way to access the admin panel is doing Control-Shift-C, and you'll be able to spawn yourself any items you want that you make yourself, any items, you know, your mod, whatever. Proceeding, let's just get out of here. So another important thing here is the modes. Here you'll be able to place items or meshes, paints. You'll be able to edit the landscape for the level. Foliage is most important in my opinion if you're not really doing map mods, which I'm not really doing map mods. Here you'll be able to spawn some nodes in to test items. And then you have the geometry editing. Again, that's for map mod makers. Going back to the content browser, here you have a search content filter. With this you'll be able to search any assets or blueprints within the game. So let's say you want to modify an iron pick. You'll look for iron. Now this entry will give you a lot of results. So this might not be specific enough. So let's change this to a pick. We got a lot less results here, giving us more opportunities to find the iron pick we're looking for. So here it is. So this is the icon for the iron pick. However, this is linked to the actual blueprint. So what we're going to do is we're going to reference view it. And this is what it's going to give you. The item table and recipe table. The item table is the asset containing every single item in the game. So with this asset and data table, you'll be able to edit numbers or weight or pretty much anything you can think of. There is limitations, however. So let's say we wanted to change the weight of an iron pick. I've already done that, but we're going to do that again. So this is what it's going to be. You get the iron pick. There's the ID number for the pick. You're going to scroll down. Here we have the meshes. And like I said earlier, there's the icon that we got linked. If you look, go away. This is the icon that we found, right? But this is linked to the actual item. So that way we were able to link them together and find the actual item. So down here, if you scroll a bit more, also there's a lot of modifiers and numbers and things you can actually change. Feel free to have fun and experiment. Encumbrance weight is what we're looking for right now. So right now I put it to 5. The original number is 1.54, but we're going to put this, say, 10. Okay. Now the weight of the iron pick is now 10 instead of 1.54 as a default. We're going to save. You're going to bring it down, and we're going to play. So we made our character earlier, and I've already went through how to pop up the admin panel. As you can see, we don't have the iron pick, but pop up the iron panel, the admin panel, and search for the iron pick. Make sure you spawn it. Don't press escape because that will cancel the simulation. And we have the iron pick. Now if you take a look at the weight is 10 as opposed to 1.54. You can put it on. Right now we don't have any foliage type, which is what we're going to be doing right now. So you can press escape to cancel the simulation. It'll stop it. Make sure you select content, guys, when you're looking for something in the content filter here. When you're looking for something, make sure that you're selected on content. Or else if you say are selected on base and you're looking for rock, you're not going to find what we're looking for. However, if you click on content, it'll give you everything that is linked to a rock. Now, these are not what we're looking for. We're looking for foliage type. In the brackets, this says static mesh. We're looking for foliage type. This is a static mesh, and this is a foliage type. So what you're gonna do, if you're you're still on place, make sure you select foliage. So what you're gonna do is drag the foliage type you want to put into the world in here. You're gonna make sure that it's checkered, and you're gonna see this blue sphere that pops up. And then to put the actual foliage inside the world, you're just going to click a bunch of times, and then you can press play. And there are your rocks. Take out your pick. And there you go, you're getting stone. So this is a neat and quick, easy way to test your items that you've been creating using the DevKit. So say you want to change the harvest damage for the iron pick. You're going to do the same thing. Now that you actually know how to find the item table, you don't actually have to look for the pick. I just do item table, and then you'll get the item table. We already had open, but it was just, to show you guys how to do it. And now we're going to change the harvest damage. See how the harvest damage is 6, and if we put this down and we press play, and you hit it, you'll get 6 stone as a default of times 1 harvest on the server. Now if a server has times 5, you'll get the idea. Now let's change 6 for, say, 15. Make sure you save. Another thing to note is anytime that you do a change in the item table, recipe table, or any override options or modifications, you must restart the simulation for it to take effect. So stop the simulation, start back up, and there we go. We're getting 15 stone. Alright. Now let's say you want to remove all these rocks. What you're going to do is hold shift and click, and they're gone. Very easy and painless. You can put yourself back on. I'm just going to remove it. Back on place. And now we're going to actually get into what we're going to be doing today. What we're going to be doing is creating a brand new item using a recycled mesh and icon. So it's not our own mesh and it's not our own icon. We're just going to be using a already in there item, but we're going to duplicate it and create it our own item. We're going to change the name. We're going to make it very powerful so it's an admin tool and only obtainable by admins. It's going to have to be a spawnable item, and this item is for the admins to clear buildings or foundations that have been inactive for players, and it's just taking up space. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to look for the item table again. If you already have it open, that's good. And you're going to look for something that you want to modify. Say you want to modify broadsword or a khopesh. Let's just modify a khopesh. Alright, so here you have the icon for the khopesh. This is not the ancient khopesh though. Let's look for the ancient. There you go. That'll work. That'll work. So then we're going to look for the ancient khopesh in here. And alright. So this is also an important thing to note, is that all these items are all related to the blueprints. The blueprints are scripts basically, and they're all related together. So let's say you're making a new item, you're going to have to make it select that. So let's just make a new item, a brand new row into the item table. So you're going to want to number the row. Let's do 89914, for example. We're going to do admin sword. Short description. Boom. It's just an example. It doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. And then a long description. Let's do, say, use the sword to clear inactive player bases. The icon is what I was mentioning earlier. So what you're going to do is make sure that you're selected on the icon, and you're going to click this arrow. You can also do the long way, which is clicking here and then searching for it, but it's just so much more simple to click this arrow. Also, what I was mentioning earlier here is the blueprint for the game item weapon. So what we're going to look for is the khopesh. So I'm not exactly sure where the game item weapon is. You can click this this magnifying glass, which will instantly bring you to the blueprint. And let's go back to our admin sword. You're gonna click on it. Click this thing right here. And there you go. And I think I also... Here we go. I was looking for sword one hand. Admin, sword, and there you go. So here is the max stack size. You can just do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Do one. It's a weapon. This is the visual mesh, which is what we were looking for also earlier. This is the destructible mesh. And we have the static mesh. There we go. Make sure it's you can do dev only item if you want. And then do 0. 2 for this one. Weapon, sword, one hand. So now you want to test your weapon. So you're going to press play like we did earlier. And now you're going to open, and we already have our weapon. The weapon is spawned. So as I was mentioning earlier, the modifiers are actually these little descriptions for the item. So if you look at the iron pick, it says mid-grade and it says tool. We put admin tool and we put OP. You can see our durability is way through the roof. Our health damage is supposed to be 10,000, and it doesn't weigh anything. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do now is add the item in the feat tree. Because if you look right now in the feats, it won't be there. So you don't have the feat for the admin sword. Except you can still spawn your sword. It's right there. But what we want to do is make sure that we can actually craft the admin sword. That's not what you're going to want for your players, but this is just for an example. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open the recipes table. You're going to want to open the feat table and the feat tree table. All of these are important. You're going to be adding all of these inside of these tables. Now keep in mind that all of these tables, the feat tree table, and the recipes table all refer the item table. So make sure that your item that you're trying to refer to is actually here. Make sure that numbers are correct, everything is working, and the number here is actually what you're trying to refer. So here what we're going to do is create a new row. We're going to call it 89914. You're going to look for your ancient Kopesh icon, which is this one right here. You're going to do this. Call your feat something. Describe it. Doesn't matter. We're going to do boom. And here you're going to change the level requirement and the feed cost. So for the purpose of the sword, we don't want players to obtain the sword, yet we want to be able to see the sword. So what you're going to do is put it at a level where players can't reach. Give it a feat requirement where people cannot have that. Give it combat. Prerequisite. This is where you need, when you check the feats, if you check real quick, say you want to build this is a prerequisite. So what we're looking for is the Master Craftsman, which is a T3. So we're going to exit out of here. We're going to open our tables. You're going to look for the Master Craftsman feat. The purpose of this is so that you must learn the Master Craftsman's feat to be able to learn the admin sword. So this is the number we're looking for, 52,000. So we're going to go back to our sword. And you're going to give it, make sure you're under the prerequisite and not reward. Reward is something else. We're going to do that after. 52,000. And then we're going to make a reward recipe which is the recipe we're going to be creating for the sword. So make sure that the recipe is the same number you're going to use here. So what we're going to do is just keep the same number, 89914. All right, so here we're going to make we're also going to make it here. So we're going to call it admin sword. And this didn't work. Oh my lord. All right. The level requirement was 51. Feat cost was 500. Prerequisite 52,000. And the reward recipe is going to be 89914. And then we're going to create a new row here as well. Make sure you number it 89914. And this one is important because if this number is not what you put here and here, it's not going to work. So just make sure, and why do we have this? It's weird. Make sure that this number is the correct number used in all of the tables. Alright, so we're going to create the recipe now. Crafting stations, this is where you can look for the blacksmith bench. Jesus Lord of Heaven. Can't type. Okay, so this is the number. So make sure when you're actually referencing the crafting stations, you're actually referencing the ones in the item table. So not in the feats and not in the recipes. Don't search for them in the recipes. Look for the item table ones. So the blacksmith bench is what you're looking for. And I can't speak. So basically the number we're looking for is 89301. So the crafting station is 89301, which is the blacksmith ingredient, is what we're going to be actually looking for. The items again in the item table. So we're going to look for steel bar. We're going to need a crap ton. So 11502. I can't fucking speak tonight. And I apologize for that. So this is a steel bar. We're going to make it need about, say, 1,000. And then we're not going to need a second ID. Just don't care. I just need to show you one. Result ID is important right here. So the result ID number 1 is what is actually referencing the item table. So in order to craft the item, the admin sword, you need to put in the correct ID, which is 89914 like we've been using in here. See, that wouldn't work. Make sure you put 1 or 2, how many you want, I don't care. We made destroyer on the destroy station incomplete, that's fine. Now make sure you save all of these. Alright. If we close this and we go back into the game and we check the feat tree, there it is. So now it requires the Master Craftsman to actually be able to learn. You need to be level 51, and it costs 500 feats to actually learn it. And it'll allow you, it'll teach you the recipe itself, which is admin sword, boom. So what we're going to do is actually, we're going to make ourselves a blacksmith bench to test it out. Come on. Give it a second. Or 2. Potentially 5. Again, I apologize if there is noises in the background. There is people in the house and they make a lot of noise. There you go. We finally got it up. So open that up and look for the admin sword. There we go. So the admin sword requires 1,000 steel bars. We're going to give ourselves 1,000 steel bars, which will be really freaking heavy. And we're going to put this bars in here. So now we're able to craft the sword. Crafting this item will destroy blacksmith bench and any thrall in it. Continue? Yes. Boom. It used the crafting bench and we have our sword. As you can tell, admin tool OP, it's got the 100,000 durability, health damage 1,000. So the next and final step to finishing your mod using the DevKit is to build the mod and upload it to Steam. So what you're going to want to do is go up to the toolbar up here, click Dream World DevKit. Here you're going to want to name your mod. You're going to make it either publicized or private or only for your friends. I recommend doing it private the first cook and test it on your own in the actual game, single player, or if you have a dedicated server running at your house, or if you have your own dedicated server, then test it before making it public. Once you think it's ready for the public, recook it and re-upload it, or you don't even have to recook it. I would, however. There is a lot of unique ID error going on right now, and the best way to fix that right now is just to rebuild the mod. So rebuild the mod and re-upload it to the public. This is your name. This is your author URL. You can get this by going on your profile, right-clicking on the background, and copy-paste the URL here. Version and description and change notes are pretty straightforward. This is a preview image, so basically this is the image people are going to see in the workshop. So you won't be able to edit this picture on the workshop. The only way to change this picture is through the DevKit. So the only way is to choose your image here and to upload the mod info to Steam. Once that's complete, once the build is complete, upload it to Steam, and there you go. You got your first mod complete. Now this is a very basic tutorial. We only had affected the data tables, but in the next videos we'll be affecting blueprints and a bunch of other cool stuff. So if you want to see those videos, make sure to hit the subscribe and like. And if you got comments or suggestions or some things that I might have missed, go ahead and comment and I'll make sure to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, there's going to be many more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.